Damsels. Welcome to another episode of Damsels After Dark. If you're new here, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Kristen.
And in our corner of the internet, we rant, rave, obsess, love on, hate on, all things books.
Today we'll be reviewing the second part of the Crimson Moth duology called The Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli.
I'm so glad you do the names and not me, because
I don't mean to butcher it. I apologize.
Yeah, they're hard. If you're new to our episodes, they basically run the same, where we do a basic summary in the beginning, and then we go to our individual ratings, and then at the very end, we'll do our hated and most loved parts, but we'll give a spoiler warning before then.
If you wish to follow along with us, our reading and review schedule will be linked in the description below.
Without further ado,
let's jump into it. So, surprise, surprise, I don't know if you guys have been looking at exclusive books from like Fairy Loot and Bookish, but we always do. It becomes like a really big deal and consumes our life.
Yeah, it really does.
So a while back we bought the Cruel Prince series, and I think it was on Fairy Loot?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it came with overlays and like the whole series. So it was, including the King of Elfham. That's the one I'm gonna like show you guys right now. But it's very pretty. It's gorgeous. It has like, as you can see, like the gold edging, and then how beautiful is this? How beautiful is this?
I love it so
much. I
When
think it's sold out now. I don't think you can get it.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, these went on sale in November. Yeah. And I think that was for members only. I don't even think it made it to the pre-sale or to the public sale. It's so beautiful. When you told me you got yours in, I ran. I stopped everything that I was doing and ran to my fucking mailbox. And I was so happy it was there. It's gorgeous. There's one in there. I think it's in the Queen of Nothing. The overlay is like her Cardin and him.
That's my favorite one.
I just want to
wrist kissing. That.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
I am absolutely in love with that whole like overlay. That was like one of the first ones I looked for. As soon as like I opened it, I was so in love.
To be fair, I looked for the dagger scene because that is like, that scene still lives rent free in my head now.
Oh yeah, there is a dagger scene one.
Oh yeah, that's the best scene ever in that entire set of books.
I'm in love with the wrist kiss. I also kind of wish there was, this is kind of ridiculous, but I kind of wish there was an overlay of her stuffing a dead body under the bed. I would have loved that.
That's funny. That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
There's some great cover art, like on the inside art in there as well. The books themselves are beautiful. Like the actual outside of the dust cover, they're beautiful. They each have like a little symbol on the front and the back.
Look at that.
They're so pretty.
Snake. So pretty.
We're obsessed. Well, we had been desperately wanting LitJoy's version.
Yes.
Which is the OG, and they're on sale online, secondhand, for like thousands of dollars. And they did finally put one out, but I think it was this one versus those ones, and I think we both took the risk to go for this one. Because I think we liked the art better.
Yeah.
Those ones are still really pretty, and I think sometimes they throw them back out on sale, but not very often. But those ones are gorgeous, but I don't
remember if the LitJoy ones had overlays, though.
No, they didn't come with overlays.
Yeah, that was one of the things we really wanted to.
Yeah, they come with like the set box. Like the box casing that houses all of them, and of course they all like look the same. And they also did the other books in Elfham, so they did The Darkest Part of the Forest, and they're doing the Cruel Prince and stuff, which I don't know that. I think Fairy Loot did do The Prisoner's Throne or something like that, didn't they?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think
if
they
did, I'm gonna try and grab it.
But they didn't do The Darkest Part of the Forest.
They did. I didn't like.
You didn't grab it.
Yeah. I don't think I liked it as much as these ones. There was something about it that I was like, no, I don't think I want them. Yeah. I can't remember. I don't think I liked the cover or something. It was pretty. I don't think the edging was even gold.
No, I don't remember. I grabbed the one from LitJoy because I have the Darkest Part of the Forest version, and I kind of want those all to look the same. And of course, like these ones stand out a little bit more because these are gorgeous. Yeah. But also, to go on the same thread, they're doing a Rebel Witch or the Crimson Moth series on Bookish. So if you really loved this series that we're finishing today, it will be on Bookish.
I think for public it's on the 14th, so you may have, by the time this airs, I don't know if it'll still be available. They might sell out really quick by then, so.
That's the word on the street. The word on the Reddit is that everybody's waiting for this. They're beautiful. They do also come in a box set, and they have like a flip book, and I think they have cover over.
Yeah, it has like, it's like a box set cover, and then like when you open the sides, it's like a pop out art.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty, but it's not technically my taste. So I think I'm gonna pass on it this time. It's like $74 minus shipping. So it's not badly priced. I'm gonna wait for a different version that comes out because I feel like my heart isn't into this one very.
Same.
I don't really like. I don't see the artwork is not, the artwork is just not my taste. I don't like. It's not that it's ugly. It's just it's not my taste.
Same.
I feel like it's just there's no moth on the front of it.
Yeah, I am obsessed with the UK covers, and I really wanted something like that. And those tones too, because the bookish tones are like yellow and red, and that's not really. I don't really like that. I want more of like a deep crimson, and I love the dark like blues and greens that are on the UK covers of both of these books. That's more of the theme that I wanted. So when this came out, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
I don't like the colors.
Also, Fairy Loot is doing the Rebel Witch, so if you already had the first Crimson Moth through their through their Fairy Loot box, I think it was a subscription. Theirs is gorgeous. I like theirs.
I like their art.
If I could have gotten the first book, I would have grabbed the second. I'm not even saying I might not. I'm still contemplating if I want to just grab the Rebel Witch and buy the Crimson Moth on Pango or whatever. However, it is expensive.
It's so expensive. It's like $230 was the last one I saw.
Because if I'm gonna buy anything secondhand, I also want the Belladonna, which I have the other two, but I don't have the Belladonna from Fairy Loot. So it's like I'm gonna end up buying the Belladonna and the Crimson Moth because I missed those two. But it's like I don't want to buy the second if I don't have the first, and so it's like I'm going through this where it's just like maybe I should just wait and see if something comes out. Because I feel like maybe Barnes & Noble will do an exclusive. I don't know. I feel like it's still early because the second book has just been released.
Yeah.
So maybe if we wait a little bit, an exclusive will come out somewhere that I'll actually like.
And sometimes they will re-release the first one when they redo the second one. Like they'll do a second run of it. So I'm kind of hoping Fairy Loot does that.
I hope so because I really love that artwork.
I do like that artwork. I'm still not in love with it as a whole.
No.
I really want a moth. I want
I do too.
I'm like obsessed with the UK covers. I'm literally just gonna go to Etsy and find somebody who's gonna hand paint the side edges, which is also expensive. Some of them I was seeing were like $200, $150, but at least with that I'm getting like hand painted artwork on the side of it. I'm getting somebody's love on the side of it.
Yeah. Do they already have the Rebel Witch out too with the same? Or is it only still the first one?
I think it's only the first one for the girls one that I specifically wanted, but I'm sure she's going to, now that it's out, I'm sure she'll make one.
Crossing fingers because like that's what I'm waiting for because I don't want to get one without the second.
100%.
So I've been waiting. So I think I've been more patient now than I have been because usually I'm just like, oh, it's exclusive, buy it, and it's like wait, I don't even really like it, and then now I got 3 exclusives. Like for instance, One Dark Window. I really didn't even like the Barnes & Noble one that much, but I still got it because it was the only hardcover I've been finding. And now Amazon has one, so if you haven't gotten a Barnes & Noble exclusive, because I think they're all sold out in most stores.
Yeah.
Or online, definitely. But One Dark Window has an exclusive on Amazon. I think you could still get on Barnes & Noble, though. I think it's just anywhere. And it has a nice edging that's very pretty.
I don't like the edging. I don't like the black and white. It doesn't really go with the covers. You're talking about the Barnes & Noble one, right?
The Amazon one that's coming out. It's really nice, but the Barnes & Noble one it's up. I think it's. I don't know where it is on my shelf. It's somewhere on my fucking shelf. Anyways, yeah, it's very bland. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. It's very bland.
Yeah.
This is the Barnes & Noble one. I don't really like it. It's very simple. And then like, okay, come on, guys. Like, why are we not doing like some kind of special like
I hate that. I hate that.
So I'm hoping that
I hate the edges.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the Amazon one, or it's just generally out. It's not specifically Amazon. Let me just say that.
However, I do like the cover.
I do like the cover.
I like the gold and the red on the cover. So that's how I displayed mine now. So mine are facing with the covers out. It's much prettier that way. But as you were saying, the Amazon ones are actually really pretty.
Yeah, those edgings are beautiful.
And the cover's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the edges though, because I don't think that do they have a design? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Well, nothing that sticks in my mind, but I will tell you, both of these versions are better than the Fairy Loot version, which has like this. I think it was Fairy Loot. It was one of these bookish subscription boxes. The edging is like a paled red and a paled teal. That's
I think it's Fairy Loot.
Is it Fairy Loot?
I never bought the
horrible.
Whichever one, and I'm pretty sure it's Fairy Loot. I didn't buy it because I've been waiting and every time I've been buying these exclusive, it's just I've been disappointed, and then I have 4 or 5 of them. I was just like, I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm gonna wait till the one I like.
It's like a gamble though, because you have to know, is this the one that like 500,000 people are now vying for? Is this the one I need to buy, or am I gonna put?
Because the Barnes and Noble one for One Dark Window, I've been seeing it that people have been posting it. They're raising the prices.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, it's not even that great looking, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see when more exclusives come out if the price is gonna remain the same for everybody, like putting it up there.
Well, we'll see, but. That's our struggle behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We're collectors of the special editions.
Yeah.
And it's a ruthless game out here.
It is. I just got my Romantasy subscription for Fairy Loot, so I'm kind of curious because now I got all of them. I need to stop doing this, but I can't help it because I really want to see what they're going to come out with, and I don't want to like cancel because I'm worried I'm going to miss something.
That's how I feel. And the worst part is I had a rule that I wouldn't buy the special editions unless I liked the book, but I'm getting all these Fairy Loot ones that I am so behind. I haven't read a single of the Fairy Loot ones that I've gotten.
We will be though.
We will. We put some on our list, which is good. So if I don't like them, I can purge myself because I'm running out of room.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are really pretty to display. Like to have them on your books.
I didn't read any of these.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
I didn't read a goddamn one of those. Mm-hmm. You know the thing on like TikTok and Instagram. It's like I have it, but I haven't read it yet. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can do that with like all of these books right here. Like, oh my god, ridiculous. But they're too pretty because now I'm gonna have to go buy the book on. Sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I'm gonna have to go buy the book on Kindle. Or get a paperback to read it.
Hell yeah, because I'm not
touching
that. No way.
No, these are like...
First of all, I don't even like reading physical books in the first place.
No, you don't.
Let alone having to like delicately fucking turn pages and shit. No way.
No, I don't want my greasy hands ruining the art. Especially because I eat when I read. So my greasy hands will be all over that. Like the cover, not necessarily the edging, but like the covers, the book. I'll see my fucking greasy handprints. I'm like, this is disgusting.
You have to put on reading gloves. I put on my reading gloves. Have you seen those?
I didn't know they had reading gloves. I need that.
I'm just making it up.
There should be.
There should be. But they have those almost like mini chopsticks that are on your fingers. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I will probably just throw those chopsticks and still go my hands. I'll probably I'll have the chopsticks like this.
Oh man, so much going on in the book world behind the scenes. But now I get a little glimpse. But if you guys know of any good book places to buy books, because we're always searching for that. There's like some underground ones who randomly publish books. Like Arcane Society is one of them.
I do like Arcane. I bought mine from Blood and Ash from them.
Yeah,
I love them.
There's a couple that are like off the beaten trail that don't have subscriptions, but will randomly do these types of books. So if you know any of those. Please drop them in the comments below because definitely we have a running like list that we keep to keep track of all of this nonsense. It reminds me though of that meme that was going around a while, or TikTok that was going, where people are like, "This is our vacation. This is my house." Or is that what it's like? This is why mom doesn't have groceries because of this. Like that's literally it.
They open the fridge and there's books in it. This is my groceries.
Yep. This is where all of my money went for this.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. All right. Well, we could jump into why we're actually here, which is to finish our duology for the Crimson Moth. We did last episode with the Heartless Hunter. We left with, and I'm going to say a spoiler for that. So if you haven't read it, just know, like, we're doing spoilers probably for the end of this. Like, we're not going to hold back for spoilers for those.
Yeah, not for the Heartless Hunter. We have to talk about spoilers in order to give the summary.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, but no spoilers at this point for Rebel Witch yet.
Yes. So we left book 1 with Alex dying, which is really hard.
It is so hard. I love Alex.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
He's such a sweetheart. He jumped in heroically in front of the bullet from Cress.
Yes.
That was aimed for Gideon. Saved Gideon's life. Also in the process, saved Rune's life because of the chaos that ensued after his death. I think that's where we left off with kind of a POV into where Rune went, and she went with Cress and Sarah to go on some other island where they were safe. And so we pick up this book where she's sort of enacting a plan to, well, she's with the prince. That's this random prince from this other land.
He's not in book 1. He just randomly pops up, and it's for political pull. pretty much.
Yeah, well, you don't know that. I mean, you do eventually know that, but like right away when you first see
obviously.
them, you don't know if is this love? Did she move on
know.
real quick? I mean, you can kind of assume that probably it's not. Yeah. But I loved the little intrigue there. But yeah, so she starts out with this prince, and we're sort of in her POV for a little bit, but then we switch to Gideon, and we learn really quickly that Gideon has this soul mission now because he believes. Like, he knows that she's the Crimson Moth. He's been hunting her forever. He feels betrayed by her on some emotional level. So now he has this vendetta against her that he's going to kill her. Of course, she is still who she is, and that her main goal is to sort of save the witches. And that means aligning herself at this moment with Cress.
Yeah.
And so essentially the story of this book basically is kind of a rehash of the last book. In that they end up having to work together while also being enemies on paper, but also still navigating their feelings with that. But in my opinion, and I'll just say this here, but in my opinion, it feels a little bit refreshing, even though it's still the same themes as last time. But that's pretty much the gist of this book, is these two having to work together, possibly maybe betraying each other, sometimes betraying each other, sometimes not, having to be these enemies, but I don't want to say comrades is not the word that I'm looking for.
I don't even know.
What's the word that I want?
I don't even know. I feel like they're trying to I don't fucking know.
Allies. That's the word.
I don't like. They're not even really good allies either.
No, because there's constantly this threat of like, I'm gonna betray you. I know you're gonna betray me, but I'm gonna betray you too. Who's gonna betray the one first?
Yeah, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing. That's exactly, and it's like the whole time you're reading this book too. Definitely, even though Alex isn't a part of it, you feel him throughout the book. There's still a lot of that. There's still a lot of what was happening in the first book. They still use in this one, so it's not. Like a lot of duologies, what they do is they just they move on from the first book, and like none of that stuff's really talked about. It's still mentioned, a lot of it from the first one into here. There's still a lot of the same magic system. There really isn't, like, a lot of discovery happens in a lot of books where like, okay, they set the tone and now there's a lot more discovery for the magic. I don't feel like the magic system has changed at all. It's very consistent. So you're not feeling like you have to learn a whole lot of new things when it comes to the world building and stuff like that. So it's very similar in plot, except now there's just a little bit more added to it, but the plot is still the same. Like that enemy lover trope is still there. The war is still there. It's the same war that they're still battling. It hasn't concluded in the first one. It's just gotten bigger in the second one. So that's where you're trying to.
And you're still on the same theme of they both have drastically different end goals.
Yeah.
But are forced to work to be allies with one another as they maneuver towards each of their own end goals. So, like, something has put them together that they need each other now, but at the end of the day, their end goals are much, much different. Yeah. Obviously, because he's still hunting witches and she's still trying to save witches. And that's pretty much the entire theme from the book.
It is still a young adult fantasy. You are not going to get that overly adult content that most people expect from enemies to lovers. It's just like a soft enemies to lovers, in my opinion. Also, it is. I wouldn't say it's high fantasy, and I wouldn't say it's low fantasy. It's definitely somewhere in the middle. There's still some. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of content warnings, but there is cutting. And like bloodletting, cutting type thing, and it's not necessarily, in my opinion, meant to specifically harm in a sense of like injury or something like that. It's used, you already know from the first book, it's used for magic. It's used to create magic, so that still applies in this book as well. I think even more so in this book because
she's actually doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's as much as we can give you guys without giving any spoilers. So we can just jump now into our overall reviews. Kristen, do you want to do your stars?
I'll go into my overall rating for the whole book is a 5. And I really love this series. I gave both books a 5. And the reason for that is I just thoroughly enjoyed it. There wasn't a part of the book that I didn't like. I felt like even when it started to slow down the pacing, the intrigue of the characters, the FFMC and the MMC started to like show. And so even in the downtime, there was tension. There was something always happening that piqued my interest. I had a difficult time putting the book down because most of the time I'll put it down because oh, it's the slow part, I could put down. Even during the slow part, I was still entertained. I still wanted to keep reading. I wasn't disappointed at all. Obviously, I gave it a 5. There was nothing like right in the beginning of the book. It goes right into Gideon's POV and hunting Rune right at the beginning, because like that's what it says at the end of the book. One, it goes right into hunting to her. So it's not like you had to watch any kind or read any kind of like mundane stuff between, because they're not together. So you didn't have to read what she's doing or what he's doing. It's immediate, like he's there, and I love that. I loved the immediate, like I felt like I got immediate satisfaction.
There was no like rehashing or like, let me remind you what happened in book 1.
No, immediate love-hate relationship right at the beginning of the book. I was like, oh, this is golden. I was fucking excited about that. POV switches were great. I loved it. Good timing in the book. Ate it up like candy. Even the moments that I felt were predictable, because a lot of it to me, I still felt like, oh, I know what's going on. But I feel like that with most books. And even though I feel like that, I don't necessarily feel disappointed when I could guess a book. But most of the time that I do get disappointed, it's because it was not done well. This was done well. Like, I knew it was coming. It didn't matter. I still liked the journey of the predictability. I didn't care. And yeah, the plot was engaging, and I was hooked the whole fucking time. The smut, there's no smut. I gave it a 0.5 because there is a little bit of stuff that happens throughout the book that was a little bit more adult themes, I would say. But it still wasn't graphic. It wasn't graphic. It wasn't overly done or overly explained in detail to make me feel like it was smutty. I felt like it was more like PG-13 shit. Yeah. Yes. So even though it was on scene, it wasn't closed door. It was more like panned out. You know what I mean? So I couldn't say, like, if it was a scene on a TV or a movie, I would be like, it was like, instead of when things were happening down here, it was up here shown. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't feel like you would have to be 18 and older to read this. I feel like you could be a young adult and read this. Yeah. But yeah, that's my rating.
I also gave this one a 5. I liked this one a lot. I still have the same issue as I did with the first one, in that I really want more from this. I really want this to be an adult book. I want like a little bit more gore. I want a little bit more spice. I want all of that. But even wanting all of those things, I still really, really enjoyed this. So it didn't really take anything away from this one as it did with the first one. And I think it was because the back and forth tension was a little bit more... It was just done a little bit better because it was funnier. It was a little bit more clever, and there was a little bit more emotion to it. So that bumped it up, the 0.5 that it was missing last time. I think the beginning is perfection, like Kristen said. Right out of the gate, we're there. There's the intense enemies to lover situation without any sort of hesitation, which was great. As I said in the summary, the theme is still the same in that they're having to work with each other while being enemies, and pretending they don't like each other, or deciding whether they like each other. Like, all that is still the same. And I can understand how somebody might not like that, but for me it felt new enough, or there was extra stuff that didn't make it feel like it was repetitive. Because this one, it was just a little bit more funnier, and the stakes were a little bit more higher because they had both been burned by each other in the past. So now it still felt slightly different, because there was a little bit more emotion to everything. It felt new and fresh, and it also... That being said, because the emotions were elevated, I was in my feels at a very certain point. There's like a boiler scene, and
I love that scene.
I was so sad. I might have teared up a little bit. My heart was hurting for the situation that was going down and what was said.
I do love that scene.
Yeah, it was really sad, but it was really good. And so the fact that you're making me laugh and you're making me like get close to tears, like the range of emotion here is working great, and that can only be accomplished through great storytelling. And so you can't not give that a 5. Kristen also said something that I agree with, which is that there was a lot of predictability in here, but for some reason, even given the predictability, there was enough there that this pseudo will they, won't they, will they betray each other, won't they betray each other, will they fall in love, won't they, like that was pretty predictable. Yeah. But for some reason it felt there was like enough for me to buy into it, because normally I'm like a passenger princess to my books. I don't really try to discover anything. Obviously sometimes the plot is just too obvious to ignore, But I like to I'm just here for a good time. I'm just here to like go with the flow of a book. And so it was easy for me to buy into will he? Is he gonna do this at the end? Is she gonna do that? Is this gonna happen? Even though I know how it's gonna, you have an idea of how it's gonna end. There was enough there that I could buy into. I could suspend my belief
for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, and I could let the worry settle in. Which sometimes things are way too obvious and you can't. But in this one, it was good. It was done so well that even with his POV and her POV, I was still questioned. I allowed the questions to bloom. And again, that is another testament to good story crafting. Also, and I'm just going to start adding this into my reviews, but I didn't think that any part of my book rating would include surprises and like twists and turns. But now it is, because the last 2 fucking books I got burned by, maybe not the last 2, but the last few books I've gotten burned with the amount of surprises that were dumped into my fucking lap. So now I'm making this a part of my rating system. In that the surprises and twists, there were like 2, and they were done great, and I didn't feel like like they were being shoved down my face. They were fairly predictable, but still, I was like, ooh. But then when I found one out, like towards the very end, about who a particular character is, it was like, oh, I think that's this person, and then it gets revealed, and it felt nice.
Yeah. It felt natural to have how it was revealed.
Yeah, natural.
Yeah, it felt forced.
It didn't feel like you were trying to shove all of this twist and intrigue in there. Like it was just the perfect amount, and so great. Like Kristen said, I put actually 0 for spice, but there really isn't like spice. Like she said, it's PG-13. It's above waist. There's no graphic detail. It's not explicit. It's just like sweet. Yeah. And sensual. Even if what they're doing isn't as sweet, it's not really explained in a way that we're used to reading about.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's a tame passion.
Yes.
It's very tame compared to adult themed books. This is like a passionate young adult book.
Yes.
Yeah, as much as passion you could get in a young adult. That's like One Dark Window or Twisted Crowns. It's that type of passion. You're just towing the line of new adult.
Yes.
You're not quite new adult. You're not quite adult. You're just young adult where that passion's still there and it's like, ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
It's enough.
So if you don't like full-on smut, but you still want that feel of it, this is a good option for that. Yeah. And same with One Dark Window. If you're looking for another great duology, it's the same. It's a safe place to enjoy light smut.
Yeah. Romance. Like that light smut romance that. Because it isn't smut at all. So.
No, yeah, not even a little bit.
Yeah, if you're more heavily on plot than you are looking for smut, then this is definitely something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it works. It's good. It's great. It's more of a story than it is smut. So
it is, but at the heart of it, it is a romance.
Yes,
like that's kind of what's propelling this.
It's definitely a romance book.
But it's built like the contents of it are so great. Like that's built well. The magic, the world, the character development, like all of that's great. Goodreads gave it a 4.27 out of 72,000 ratings, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a lot of ratings for almost 4.5. So pretty consistent with where I would have pegged it as. I think it deserves its 4.2.
Yeah,
that's pretty fair.
It's not too far off of our 5.
Yeah,
especially with that many ratings.
And as always, because we both scored it fairly high, I just pulled the 1-star reviews. You're gonna love some of these.
I love these reviews.
So I have one first from Mia, and she says, Rune and Seraphine were so predictable. The constant miscommunication was not cute banter, but irrationally annoying and immature. 2/3 of the book could have been removed if Gideon and Rune would have just talked and stopped second-guessing each other. The war scenes were unimaginative and basically all fairy tale with how everything went in the MC direction. Overall, it just felt like Kristen lost the plot of the story and wanted to finish the series herself. I mean...
okay, predictability, which we've said, yes, I get it. That means you just weren't enjoying the story. And that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I obviously enjoyed the story. I wouldn't say it had a fairy tale ending because my man still died, okay? Guys, Alex died. That's not fairy tale ending, okay? Also, people did die in this book in a gruesome way.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was a fairy tale ending. I don't think it was a happy ending. I mean, I don't think it was a miserable ending. I think it was as good as you can get ending.
I mean, now that we're well versed in what an actual fairy tale ending is.
Oh, I know. Oh.
This is not it.
I hate fairy tale endings.
I mean, did everything end up as it normally always does in books? Yeah. Like, the great evil, is probably gonna get destroyed. Like, that's just how all books end, though. So
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it got its happily ever after, but I wouldn't say it was destroyed either. I mean, like you said, it's like every other book that you read, especially in these types of book realms. Like, it's a very predictable ending for the most part. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And I think also that I can understand how Gideon and Rune's like miscommunication, second guessing each other is annoying to some people. But I wouldn't say, because I saw a lot of people saying this, that it was dumb or it was immature, blah, blah, blah. But I don't agree with that viewpoint because I thought that it was actually well built into their situation. Not only were they struggling with this in the beginning in a way that made sense because she's a witch and he's a witch hunter, he's actively trying to kill her, she's actively trying to use him. I mean, that was already established in the beginning. Yeah. Then we get the betrayal at the end where he does feel very betrayed, and so we're moving
from the last book.
Yeah, from the last book, and so we're moving into here with that same trauma he experienced, and also her. So it makes sense that they're like.
And can you really consider it a miscommunication when even when they were telling the truth, they didn't believe each other? Because that happened all the time. It wasn't that they didn't just believe each other because it was a lie. They did communicate. The problem is that neither one of them trusted each other. I wouldn't say it's a miscommunication thing. I think it's more of a trust issue.
Yeah.
And because obviously when they were trying to kill each other the whole book and the first one, now they're going into this book where they felt betrayed. Would you believe? Okay. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they betrayed you in every way you could possibly feel, and they were now telling you the truth, which in the first book they didn't even really lie either.
Yeah.
They just withheld, which is miscommunication in a different way. But that was different. This one, they have all the truth out. Everything's out. They told each other the truth the whole time, and they didn't believe each other.
And if the foundation of your relationship is about using the other person for a belief that is so drastically different from the other one, that you want witches to live, and two, that you want all witches to die, and the foundation is using each other to get to those drastically different outputs, obviously the foundation is there's no trust.
Yeah.
So it, like Kristen said, it's not miscommunication. Nobody's not saying anything because they're shy or they're afraid. It's, well, I mean, I guess kind of, but it's not like, oh, I don't want to tell him because he might not like me or this. No, it was literally like, you want me dead, and therefore I can't be my true self with you. Yeah. And also, he has this vendetta against witches, which we understand from the first book, and so he does want her dead.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
they try to kill each other multiple times.
Yeah.
In the first book. I'm not even saying the second book as a spoiler. The first book they did. So it's like, I really don't believe this is a miscommunication. Miscommunication doesn't happen, but it's not necessarily the whole book. It's because of trust.
Yeah,
at least definitely because of trust.
It's not a weak point in here. It is specifically built into the foundation of their characters and their mission and the whole plot. So it doesn't feel dumb or fruitless. Like, there's a purpose for it. It makes sense to the story.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times where I was like, they just need to tell each other, and then they would, like, almost immediately after I would think that, and it's like, well, yeah, of course now the other person's not going to believe you. You lied. So like. You can't say, oh, they just need to talk. It's miscommunication. It's like, okay, but every time they did, which if you did read the book, you would know when they did talk about it, how many times did they just still feel betrayed and didn't listen?
Or even said their true feeling, but
and
then...
it didn't matter. Didn't change anything.
And they're stuck between, in Gideon's point of view mostly, is that he's stuck between having this true feeling of, I'm going to betray her, but then also having this, like, but do I love her? No, I have to betray her. Like, he's so determined to fulfill his mission that he's struggling with this. So there are times where maybe he would give his real choice, but then no, it doesn't matter because I'm going to betray her.
And that was even throughout the whole first book.
Yeah.
And it starts off right the beginning of the second book. So like I said, what we're talking about is not even a spoiler. That is the whole push and pull between them. Mm-hmm. Throughout, it's the same theme, like you were saying. This is the theme of the book. And it started off, it was the whole book of the first book. It starts off the second book this way. I don't believe it's miscommunication. I don't believe this is a fairy tale type of written story at the end. I don't know. I could see how one would kind of go in that direction based off of, oh, I don't like this trust issue, so therefore it's miscommunication. I guess you can label it if that's how you feel, but I think that's not exactly an honest way of portraying this book.
Yeah, I agree. And I also don't feel that Kristen lost the plot of the story and wanted to finish the series herself. I don't understand that last sentence, because isn't that the author's point, to finish the series?
Yeah, it was meant to be a duology, and I feel like everything was summed up fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you would want to add any more to it. I don't know what else you could add.
And the plot remained the same. I mean, the plot was literally how this island was going to be run, who was going to walk out the victor of this war that was going to happen, and it would either be the death of the witches or the death of the good commander and his blood guards. I mean, that's literally the plot, and that's how the plot ended. That's how the story ended.
Yeah, with one of the two happening.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, Mia. We don't agree there. Also, Callie says the same thing. The entire book embodied the miscommunication trope over and over and over again. We covered that. Obviously, we don't agree with that. The last one is from Emily, and she says, the author justifies sexual manipulation, and that's all I've got to say. I put this on here because I actually don't understand this.
Is she talking about, like, what Kristen in the first book? But I wouldn't say justifying. She's not justifying it. Because it was clearly stated as a negative.
Yeah, because it obviously...
Because Cress tried to use Gideon as a sexual manipulation to do what she wanted. And this is the first book. So
and it traumatized him. Yeah. Like, it wasn't
justified.
A good thing. Yeah,
and I don't know who else... I'm just going off the first book right now. But even in the second book, there is no sexual manipulation. But the only sexual manipulation I could see is what Gideon and Rune were doing to each other to gain. But that's not in this book.
No, and I don't ever felt like they... I mean, I guess they kind of...
In the first book, maybe?
Maybe, but they both wanted it.
Yeah, so... And it wasn't manipulating one or the other. And the other one. The only one who manipulated anybody was the backstory of Gideon with Cress.
Yeah. And, okay, I could see... To your point, I could see the first one that maybe you could make the argument for that.
But not this
one. But not this one.
There is nothing like that.
Because they weren't manipulating each other. I mean, they were pretty raw with each other in this one because they were both angry.
And they already
knew
who the other person was.
Yes.
So I feel like I would need more of an explanation. But even if that were a minor... even if you think that was a major issue with the book, when I don't think it's obvious to what she's saying in here, why a 1 star? No, did you not like the plot? Did you not like? Did you like? I'd like to know.
That's a good point. Because this wasn't a theme throughout this entire book. Like, this is what this book was based on, was sexual manipulation. Because we rated it a 0 for sexual spice.
Yeah. So like, I'm not understanding what created it that you had to drop it so low on the point scale. I mean, if that's all it is, then wouldn't you be like, okay, the plot was great, this, but I felt like there was an undertone of sexual manipulation. 3 stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could understand that, but like, you're dropping... Did you not focus on any... Did you not read the whole book? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's not enough for me to judge her 1 star, but I also feel like it's also not enough for me to feel like that is a 1 star.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. But I would like to know from you guys if you feel like there is any, and if, like, where it was, if you could make that argument for us down at the comments, because I really don't have any recollection of this.
That's just, I'm just curious at that point. And if so, would you, if you feel like there was any sexual manipulation and you were able to pinpoint it, do you feel like it ruined the story for you? Mm-hmm. Like, you had to give it like a low rating?
That's Goodreads for the most part. Solid 4. Over a 4 is always great for a book when we're giving it a 5. So seems right up our alley, and it was great overall. 100%. Of course, Kristen and I would recommend it.
Duology. I did. I recommended it to everybody that I was like, hey guys, you gotta read this book.
Me too.
I was recommending it to you even before we added it to our thing. I was like, oh my god, Kristen, I just read this book. I'm in love with it. And the great thing was I think we jumped on it right around the time Rebel Witch was being released.
Yes.
So we found we had a space. We put it on. Kristen put it on our list. I was like, I'll reread. I don't mind having fucking trauma to reading that first book all over again.
The duologies are doing wonders this year, even last year.
Yeah.
We tried with the singlets, and they were not our jam. But the duologies, there's something special about a duology.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving these duologies. That every time a book is like a standalone, like this should have been a duology. Every time I've read a standalone, I thought about that. But yeah, duologies just hit just enough.
Yeah, I don't think that I've really read duologies before this. I was only reading long series. But yeah, they have been doing just enough. Like, they're
Mhm.
short, they're sweet, they're a simple, cute story. They're easy to digest.
Yeah.
I got a book boyfriend from one of them. Like, that's how good they're hitting. So, yeah, keep it up. Keep these in our wheelhouse. I like them.
Yeah, and I think our next book that we are reading is another duology. After this,
Oh, yes.
there's another duology.
It's easy to fit them in a month. Just do
It is,
two
and they're
duologies in a
they're
month.
so nice. Like they're refreshing to me. I feel like I've accomplished the end of the book read. I don't feel like I'm like dragging on. I was like, oh my god, I got another book. Like it feels right. It feels right.
And sometimes what I've learned now with some of these books that go to 5, 6, they're too long. Like, there's too much going on. You're just like filler booking me at this point.
And I'm waiting forever. This is 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to read that. 2 years, I get it, because you like read the book, and you're not even waiting really 2 years. Most authors put it out within the next year.
Yeah.
Like, you read the book, and then it's out next year, and it's like, okay, I could wait, or I could just not read it and then wait, because you're only waiting within the year to read both books.
Yeah.
Like, this book, I just discovered it, and then I was like, oh, it's gonna be released in a couple months. Like,
Great. And the story's over. I don't have to wait again. It's
exactly.
done.
That's how I felt with most of these duologies. Even the One Dark Window, when I found it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be released in the fall. And I read it in the spring. I was like, this is perfect. So
yeah, I will say both of these great duologies have been Kristen's pick, so she's doing it. Every time you got a duology, Kristen, just throw it on, throw it at me. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm ready for it.
It's been working. It's been working for me. I'm worried that I'm hitting these good duologies. I'm worried that we're gonna get some really bad ones.
Well, it's okay because it'll only be 2 books. I got sucked down a 6-book rabbit hole.
I know. Tell me about it.
But anyway, so we've summed up all of the beginning stuff, all of our non-spoilers, and so now is a great time to jump into our spoilers, which is absolutely the best part.
Yes, cannot wait.
There's nothing like reliving the best parts of books.
Yes. Do you want to go first this time around?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, I'm going to try to limit myself.
Yeah, I need to do it too. Me and Kristen were talking earlier off scene that I think instead of us like going one in and telling our whole, because that's been the whole book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna narrow it to 5. Crystal said you would probably try to do the same.
Yeah, I didn't organize my notes that way, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to just pick a couple.
Yeah, we didn't do that this time. It was kind of just like randomly discussed.
Yeah, and it's hard too because obviously there are some parts that are just going to be universal favorites.
Yeah.
So you know, we don't want to step on any toes either.
I kind of want to mix it up.
Yeah.
Like to be able to like we both like agreed on that, and here's my 5 on top of these.
Yeah.
Like that's what we kind of want to do. So that way we both like you guys get to hear different points of views of the parts of the book.
Okay, so I'll start with my first favorite is, of course, the beginning of the book.
Praise the Lord.
I won't get into too much because I know this is also your, so I'll give you some. But one of the things that I absolutely loved about this first was when we are in Gideon's POV, he's out there, he's hunting, he's looking for her, and he sees her with this prince dancing, and he sees Rune basically say something, like he sees them dancing in the ballroom, and he's trying not to feel anything about this. He's just like, I'm here, I found my mark. And then he sees her say something to the prince, like be sensual and be like, oh, I've got a surprise for you later. And literally the quote from the book is, Rune winked, the prince's eyes darkened with lust. Gideon was going to be sick. I just love that because that was a perfect intro to this. Like, he's watching this. He's like, I found her. I've snuck into this ballroom. And then there's like some sensual shit going on. He's like, oh my fucking God, this is disgusting.
Yeah. It makes me sick. She already moved on for my brother. Not him. He doesn't want to mention himself. Nope. He's like, my brother. I'm doing this for my brother. Like, whoa, so you said that in the last book. Fuck off.
So it's essentially, my favorite part is this entire whole scene, but I'm not going to take the whole scene, but I like the beginning, and then there's this part that I'm just going to touch on when they're in the bathroom, because obviously he stalks her to the bathroom. He's about to kill her in the bathroom, but there's a moment where he's sitting here, he's trying to kill her. He's here to kill her. He's got the gun out. He looks her in the eyes, and he has a moment of like hesitation, and then that's the end for him. But they go back and forth. They're bickering during this moment, and she like tries to throw a bottle at his head, and he ducks it. And I'm gonna quote this. This is what happened. He grabbed her around the waist and shoved her against the wall. He heard the air whoosh from her lungs. Before she could recover, he pinned her wrist above her head, then shoved his knee between her legs, covering her there. God. I literally highlighted this, and I was like, God damn. Like, who are you trying to convince that you're not here for her? Like, Excuse me. I was breathless. Like, you pinned her up against the wall like that? You didn't have to shove your knee between her thighs, my man.
I know.
God damn. And then it just goes on because she says, like, we both know what you want to do to me. Yeah. And well, here's your chance. And he looks at her mouth and he's like, you have no idea the things I want to do to you. And then
I was like, sir, do you want to murder her or fuck her?
Like you want to fuck her. Nobody pins the person he's trying to murder up against a wall like that.
Shoves her knee. No.
Hands above her head, please. Sir. You are starting something here.
And it isn't murder.
Yeah. It's not murder.
The only thing you're trying to murder is the punani, sir.
Oh, that was, I don't know why that part was just so fucking funny. Because, again, in his head, he's like, I'm gonna murder her. I'm here to murder her. I can't believe I did this.
Also, like, he was going to murder her. The minute he walks in, he sees her card. He's like, oh.
And she's drunk. Oh, no, she's drunk. I want to know why. No. Murder this bitch.
I do it with my knee between her legs.
Hands above her head. I'm going to invade her space and make it real sexy while I do it. Right? Come on, Gideon. Let's see. Okay, so I thought that this book was so fucking funny. Like, the humor in here was so subtle, and one of the parts of this is when they're actually on the boat, and they're, like, at the dining hall or something, and they're having a back and forth. They bicker, and they sort of let out they air a lot of their grievances that they were having with each other. She's getting super fucking drunk, and they bicker, and then they're like, okay, well, we can't really do this here, and she's had way too much to drink, so he ends up taking her back, and he's idly, like, attending to her, like, he's taking her clothes off, but not like a sexual way, but to like as if he were taking his drunk wife's clothes off and like getting her tucked into bed. And then he like freaks out because he realizes what he's doing, and he jumps up. He's like, I'm gonna go get food or water or something. And she's like, get me, or he says water, and she's like, get me food. And then that's the end of the chapter. And then the next chapter opens up with, I propose a no drinking policy this evening, that he's like announcing to the party that he says. And I don't know, I literally laughed out loud at that because this sort of subtle humor is what I appreciate in a book.
Because it led him to be like trying to tend to her, and he's like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, no, everyone, no drinking today. No real reason why, just no drinking. I love it. Another scene that I loved was the shooting scene.
Oh, yes.
So,
the trap shooting?
The trap shooting. They're at Abby's party with her friends. This is probably my favorite scene. They're at the party with Abby's friends. I love her in this moment because she is both determined and distracted at the same time. It's not working out for her because she's trying to shoot these plates.
And she doesn't do a good job.
No, she has no idea how to shoot a gun. No. Never shot a gun in her life. She's like almost damn near killing everybody on this boat.
It's really funny.
And then so she's shooting this while her mind is also half on what Gideon and Abby are doing because they're flirting pretty hard over off to the side.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah. But so he sees that she's almost killing people on this boat, and so he sees her, and she thinks he's walking up to like take the gun away from her, and he walks up and he's grumbling because I love his grumpy attitude. He's grumbling, I can't believe this fucking stupid ass prince gave you a gun and didn't teach you how to use it.
I know.
So of course the whole, it's kind of a cliche scene, but he's there, he's teaching her how to shoot it. She's doing good. She's got her aim down. He's standing behind her because he's helping. Like, she got her aim so that it's not, like, wild, but it's not quite hitting the target. So he's standing behind her and he's helping her. And previously, if you remember, she had a dream. And it was a spicy scene of these two. And she had woken up like, did I say anything? And he's like, no, you're fine. Like, go back to bed.
No, he lied.
And so he's standing behind her to help her improve her aim. And he whispers in her ear, what were you dreaming about last night when you called out for me? And I was taken aback. I was like,
at this point, you think he did it. It didn't happen. Yeah. But he lied.
He died. And then he brought it up right then. Girl, I was embarrassed for her. I was like, oh, shit.
And she said nothing. He goes, it didn't sound like nothing. I went, what? Then what did you think it was, sir?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah,
he really got her.
She was like, I think he's doing this while she's got a gun in her hand. Like, I'm going to shoot everything. Like,
and she did. She, like, took the shot when he said it, and it, like, went of course. Totally makes sense. Okay, and I'll say that the last scene that I love is after the shooting situation. She is super upset because he's leaving with Abby. And she, in her mind, has concocted the fact that he, like, loves her because she's a real girl, which actually hurt my heart a little bit.
Yeah, that was...
Because Rune could never be a real girl, and she's thinking this to herself. Yeah. And then William comes up kind of smooth. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, hi, William. Because he's like, does he do this all the time? Like, he said some fancy line, and I even highlighted. I was like, ooh, damn. Watch out for this one, because he's paying attention to him, not paying attention to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But anyways, he tricks her down. He goes into the boiler room, and Gideon ends up finding them down there. And it's fucking funny.
I love this.
He comes down, he's like, what the fuck are you doing with my wife, or something like that. Yeah. And then there's a back and forth there, but the scene the part that I like the most is when he says, basically he's like, you need to come with me, and she says no, and he says, as your husband I insist. And she's like, insist all you like. I'm refusing. And so he bent inches away, his gaze bored into hers as they seethed at each other. He says, listen, you demon, I will carry you out of here if I have to, and you know it. Like, I just love it because there's something so sexy about that.
I love it.
About their banter back and forth. Like, fucking let's go. I'm refusing. I love that shit. They call her demon.
It's just all you want. My ass ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. And then the guy, listen, you demon. I just love all that. Like, them together.
Great. It's great.
Fucking love it.
It's fucking hilarious. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every part of it.
Mm-hmm. That's all mine.
Do you have any worst parts?
Oh, my worst parts. I do. I can do my worst parts. I hate, and will always hate, faked main character death. I don't like it. This is at the end. I get why they did it. Like, it makes sense to the story, but I just don't like it because their authors are always really trying to sell it to me.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I know it's bullshit, and so I wish that we would stop these. Like, either kill your character or don't. Don't toy with me. Find some other way to do this.
I agree, because the minute that happened, I was like, yeah, she ain't gonna die.
Like, no.
I thought it was predictable, because obviously they mentioned the sister, like, there's one left, she's craps, they want to kill her anyways. I'm like, okay, I saw where this was going, but then I'm in my head, I'm like, did they have to do this? And I'm like, okay, I see why they needed to, because they needed the blood to do this and that, and he only had a gun, so he had to shoot her to get the blood, and it had to be... Yeah, so, I mean, I get it, but I still disliked it as well.
But, like, kill her. Yeah. Then do it. Make it meaningful. Make it purposeful. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever read A Walk to Remember, but that is a book that the main character dies in, and then we see the POV of the dude after, and, like, that is how it's done. You kill your main character, and then you show the suffering and the love of the dude, and I was really hopeful.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. But that vision?
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I knew she wasn't going to die.
Yeah, but then also you just have, like, main character armor. Always. Nobody ever kills the main character.
Yeah.
And so, like, and they did the same shit with other books. And I don't like it. It's a pet peeve of mine. And so they did it here, so I didn't like that.
I dislike it, too.
Another one that I just flat out didn't like is that fucking bitch Abby.
I hated Abby.
When she followed Gideon down into the room, she was like...
Oh, what a cunt.
I got money saved up. You got gambling debts, I'll pay for it.
This bitch is thirsty.
Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean I got gambling debts? And she says, but why would you marry her unless you had to? I was like, bitch, do you know who that is? Do you know who this is? The Crimson Moth, okay? Like, put some respect on her name.
Right? I was mad. You're, like, toting our girl around like she's fucking nothing.
And that's how she acted the whole time, like, looking down on her, like, oh my God, of course she doesn't know how to shoot. Of course this. It was like, bitch, who are you?
Yeah.
Like...
And she kept saying, oh, she's not going to give you the adventure and stuff you want. Like, that's not what you want. He's like, what makes you think Rune isn't? Like,
I like that he did stick up for her a little bit there.
Yeah.
But that line right there I highlighted, and I was like, this fucking bitch.
And that kissing scene?
You?
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I hated it. I did hate it.
I absolutely hated it.
I did like that he did it, though, in order to figure, like, who else was he going to kiss? To figure out what was going on with this curse.
I know this is going to sound kind of weird. I didn't really hate that he did it. I get why he did it. And there's no exclusivity between these two. Rune and Gideon. Yeah. There's no... So it's not that I was pissed off about that. 'Cause she went with fucking Alex. So, like, that wasn't what pissed me off. I was mad at Abby because she doesn't know that they're not really married. This bitch thinks they're fucking married.
But has this idea from no other resource that she got this
and
idea.
She's going to go and try and steal a fucking married man.
That he's there because he has to be, not because he wants to be.
So she doesn't know. But obviously, Gideon knows that they're not really together, and Gideon was kind of curious. He didn't even really want Abby. He was using her the whole time. He thinks that she was some kind of spy. So I see where he was going with it.
And
I just hated her.
To be fair, he was flirting with Abby, though, because he was trying to get close to her. So I could see maybe he gave that idea to her.
Yeah, but she still should have had some self-control and some willpower to be like, you are a married fucking man.
Yeah.
And then being like, you are disgusting. You shouldn't be doing that. I get it. I get that he was putting it in that direction, and I get that she's thirsty for him, but I still hated it. I still hate the concept that people do this kind of shit.
Yes.
I don't say what Gideon did was right by flirting with her and getting it, but he was doing it because he didn't know if she was a spy.
And he had no real, he wasn't really married, so he didn't have an obligation to ruin.
No,
necessarily.
He didn't. So, on his part, he's not really doing any wrong.
No, it's her.
It was all her. She had the idea that he was married. She was, in her head, this scenario should have been completely fucking wrong.
Yeah.
To him, he's a spy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong he's really doing other than portraying a married man, which
in
itself is wrong. But in theory, he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I was upset with all of her nonsense because I like Rune a lot. And so the fact that you would just stick your nose up, because who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. You ain't no head of the rebellion. You don't got a station.
Even before he was flirting with Abby, she started flirting first. It was so it wasn't even Gideon initiated it. She initiated all of it, and he was just going with it.
Yeah. He wasn't stopping it or preventing it.
Yeah. He was going with it. And I don't like that he did, but she was always 100% pushing the envelope and constantly going. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, she was thirsty for him for sure.
Yeah. I don't even know if he would have took it in that direction if she didn't.
Yeah, because he could have gotten that same information just being friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he went with whatever it is that she was allowing to put out there. So that's my opinion on it.
In the final hate scene, which is not really a hate scene, but I didn't like it because it made me really emotional, was the actual scene in the boiler room when she pretty much just lays her heart bare to him.
Yeah.
She says basically I would have married you in a heartbeat had you asked me. I would have married you knowing you would hand me over to the killers or kill me yourself the moment you found out what I was. That's how pathetic I am. That's how desperately I wanted to be yours.
And she did.
And she absolutely did. And then he goes on after that and asks, then why say yes to my brother? And she yells at him because he loved me, because he didn't want me to be dead. It was the best offer I was ever going to get. I was just a girl to Alex, someone to be loved and cherished and fought for. That's why I said yes to him. And then she asks him, I'm not a girl to you, am I? I'm a witch. I will always be something to be hated and hunted down, not cherished or protected, not loved. And that just broke my heart because that was her true heart just laid there, and her fears of hey, I loved you and I would have done all of this, but all you can see is me as a monster. You think I need to be hunted, you think I need to be killed, and when you were given the opportunity to not make that decision, you made that decision and you gave me up.
And you know what he did? He said nothing.
He said nothing.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
And let her run.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I was literally, when she said those last couple lines, I got a little teary-eyed, I got a little emotional.
Yeah, I was really upset at that. I was happy she said it. I was more fuck yeah, put it in his face.
Yeah.
This is where I had disagreement with the Goodreads. Because this isn't at the end of the book. This is right at the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say 1/3 of the way in.
Yeah.
She laid it bare, and she did numerous times.
And they had the conversation prior to this the day before where they were airing a lot of their grievances. Maybe they didn't say flat out that they loved each other, but they were having communication about what led them in this direction and what they were doing. Yeah. So they had that conversation. And then here she is saying she loves him.
But they don't know what to do because they're both in a position where they don't trust each other and they're betrayed. Mm-hmm. So what are you going to do?
And he, even hearing this, even seeing all this, doesn't know if she's telling the truth.
Yeah, you can't.
Because
he doesn't know if he's manipulating her.
Yeah, or if she's manipulating him. Yeah. And because he even says that when he comes down here, I come down here all the time, or I come here thinking that you're the prey, knowing and seeing that you're the predator every time I'm down here. So that's what he feels like he's getting sucked back into the same web he feels like she put her in the first time, which was to use her and pretend to be in love with him when she clearly chose his brother over him, that's his interpretation of the situation. That's not what actually happened, but yeah. So to your point, yes, this is not miscommunication. This is they don't trust each other. But yeah, I hated all that she feels. And of course, like I said before, she prefaced this already with her looking at Abby and seeing oh, that's that's a girl and I'm not a girl. And the fact that she feels that way about herself was like really making me sad.
That was numerous times throughout the book too. Like every time she's like, well, now he can go run away and be with her. And I was like, no, bitch, don't put yourself lower and feel low about yourself, because you are the goddamn motherfucking Crimson Moth, bitch.
Yeah, you're a witch. Like, that's way cooler than being a girl.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Girls. Like, damn, do you know who you are?
Yeah, don't put yourself down. No,
yeah.
You are yourself a fucking badass bitch. Like, he obviously isn't gonna be happy with her because she's mundane. Like, and even if she is mundane, great. Like, don't make yourself feel like he doesn't want you.
Yeah, or you're unworthy because of who you are.
Even, like, you cannot be unworthy to a person. Never put your self-worth based on somebody else's, or your view of somebody else's worthiness up to them. Like, no. Your self-worth is your own. It does not belong to somebody else to be worthy.
Yep.
Like, no, I hate that. I hate that in any type of book that I read where they're just like, oh, I'm not worthy to be with that person. No, you might not be compatible. But worth is a whole different type of thing, and it really irks me when people are like, "Oh, I'm not worth it. I'm not worthy of being with you." No.
And I like that she never actually felt unworthy, but it was that she felt more to the incompatible, because at the end of the day, he didn't want anything to do with witches. Like, he didn't. He finds her disgusting, and that's how she felt. That's how she internalized it more.
And you got Abby, who's just an average person who doesn't have to worry about being a witch, and it's like, no, he obviously doesn't care about that. Like, he might say he does, but it's more of a society thing where he feels like he can't fit in if you were to have this relationship. Because they have this moment where she's just like, if we were to have kids, like, we would always be hunted. He's like, you want kids?
Yeah. I love that scene.
I don't know if, because it's not in my love scene, but it's in one of my wanted to discuss scenes. But like, it wasn't about that for him. In the end, I would say it's more of like, where do we fit in with society, because this is now, it's either this way or that way. There is no in between, and eventually they come to the conclusion that there is an in between, and they need to make it themselves. So I did like that.
He did also, he was subtle with his appreciation for her, even though he was trying to convince himself that he wasn't, because he says the one line where when he's talking about the fact that she's with the prince, he's like, I don't know Rune Withers, but I know the Crimson Moth, and she's no caged thing.
Yeah, so he's complimenting her.
And he says, and I pity the man who clips her wings. So it's like, he admires this about her, that she's not caged, that she's wild, that she's a rebel witch, that she's all of this. Like, he likes it, even though he doesn't want to like it.
He just doesn't want to say it, but he's always, and I felt like, even from the first book, I've always felt like when he's talking with this animosity about the Crimson Witch before he finds out who she is, or Crimson Moth, I've always assumed that he had more of an obsession with her. I was like, it's like that Jude thing all over again. Jude.
Yeah.
It's like that. I'm like, you are Cardin in a whole different way.
Like, there is a certain level of respect to somebody who can best you.
Yeah. For 2 years he did.
For 2 years.
For 2 years she did.
And then you see her, and then you find out she's beautiful, and you're like, fuck.
An aristocrat who's been under your nose the whole time.
And now she's using you. She's still besting you. You're at the party like, wait, didn't I just see this bitch? Didn't I just wrestle with this bitch in the sewers? And now she's here. Wait, what? Like, he did have that whole Jude.
Yeah. He's smitten.
He was disgusted with himself that he loved her.
We were talking about that earlier off camera. I would rather have somebody who hated me only because they loved me. They hated me because they loved me.
Like, disgusted by the fact that they fucking are obsessed with me.
Yeah. It's the only hate I will like.
Yes. 100%. But so those are my favorite and hated parts. Yours?
Yes. Okay, so very much the same, but I'm gonna add my little differences in with the rest of it. So the bathroom scene, I loved all of it. I love that he found her crying. I love that he gave into it. But also right after that, she leaves and she comes back to save Gideon because Crest is now torturing him. Which I hate that part. So I'm just gonna throw that in there with the hate. I hate that. I hate it. But I do enjoy that she goes back to save him, and now Eva, whatever, is there trying to get Gideon to her room, Crest's room, and she's like, no, I gotta take him. And Eva's like, no, you're supposed to be wherever. She's like, no, I'm gonna take him. And Eva notices that she is lying. She's like, oh yeah, you're lying. Like, no. And so they battle it. Well, she has Gideon battle it out with her. And so Gideon takes her, pins her up, and has her right next to the gun on purpose, obviously, because he has to do what Ava said. So that's when I'm gonna call her Jude all the time. That's when Rune takes the gun and shoots Ava. But now that, okay, so I love all that. I love how she goes and saves him. But right after that, now they have to get her back to the room. So they're bickering on the way to the room. He's like, can you get back there? Is there a way you can get in? She's like, I don't fucking know. I didn't just like get here. I didn't think about it. It just happened. So like he helps her escape into the room, and then they're like, peace. Like it was just so like, well, the end I'm gonna kill you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's my favorite part of that scene. He's like, just so you know,
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Next time I see you, it's fucking game on.
Yeah, and he's like, deal, peace, and then they fucking go their separate ways. Yeah. So I love that part. And then, obviously, when they come back together, I love the scene in the dressing room.
Yes.
I love the dressing room scene. So, like, he's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to follow around. He thinks he's so clever. He thinks this is all his plan. It's not. It's all Rune. Rune, like, created this whole plan where she's going to make him come and see her at the dressing room, and she's going to be in this, she's in a wedding gown, and he comes and he's going to, I'm going to fucking just shoot her this time. As soon as he opens the dress, she's got a fucking pistol. And she's like, get your ass in here. We got to talk. And he's like, fuck, it was all her. She planned everything. So yeah. So she even, convinced him to have this truce where they can work together, right? So, and then when he agrees to it, he's like, okay, I got this room. She's like, no, I got a boat. Like, she had it all planned out. I, like, respected that. And he was just like, oh, shit, like, I thought I had this together. No, she's had me the whole time.
He's like 5 steps ahead of him.
Yeah, I loved it.
Also, in that scene where she's making him carry the bags, and they're like running down the street, he's carrying both of their bags.
And the bag is for him is actually the prince's stuff. So he's got to wear this, like, shit that doesn't fit him.
And he's bitching, and she's like, oh, is silk and fucking whatever too fancy for you?
I was cracking up. I love it. So all the other parts that you mentioned on the boat, I loved all those. There's also a scene where they go and try and kidnap this little girl. Not for bad reasons, but for good reasons. To kidnap her away from the good commander's people and bring her back to her mom, the witch. And so in this scene that they're stuck in the library, there's always a library scene, guys. Have you noticed?
Like, always a library scene.
So there's a library scene. They get stuck in this library scene because people are going back and forth, so they can't leave the room yet. And in this scene, that they actually start to, because Rune and him kissed earlier, and the curse was set, and so now he's like, he had, when he had to kiss Abby to make sure it wasn't really just Rune. And so he realizes it's Rune, and he tries to explain it to her. She's like, you're repulsed by me. You don't even want to kiss me. And he's like, oh, no. And so, like, he gets hot and heavy with her, gets, like, right onto her. He's like, I could show you. I could demonstrate if you'd let me. And so she's like, show me. That's, like, their key words in this book that I absolutely love is the show me. It's like, yeah, show me. Demonstrate on me, please. But, like, yeah, so she says, show me. And he goes right and he kisses her, and he puts her palm on his chest where the crest is of the tattoo or whatever, and she feels it burning and feels it reacting to their touch and their passion, and she realizes it's a curse. And right then and there, after he tells her how he feels, that he has like this level of attraction for her, that he still cares for her, she's determined at that point, I'm gonna get this fucking curse removed. I would kill anybody for this curse right now. But yeah, so it's crazy. It's funny. I love it. So yeah, she decides that that's what she wants to do. I love that scene. It's really great.
It's funny too because it's like, now you guys are having this conversation right here. You're in this fucking house in the library. There's patrols all around you. Everyone in this house is looking for you guys. And you're trying to prove your lust to each other right here. It was great though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't like these inopportune times, or I guess it could be opportune times, but I don't like when they put these in the books. It's like, this could have been done at any point, but yeah. I mean, I get it. What else are they going to do? They're bored. They have nothing. They have to wait. So it's like, can we just not discuss it?
Yeah.
But she's like, we should probably go. And he's like, no. Let's do this first.
No, I got to prove something to you right now.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, I also love the part where, okay, Rune is now going to betray Gideon again. And so she wants to leave without Gideon. I think she's going with Sarah. Is it Sarah? No, not Sarah.
It's
somebody
the
else.
witch that they help.
Yeah, it's the one with the visions with the kid. So Rune's about to leave, but she's like, I need fucking food. And they're on the boat. They're on Alex's boat. And also she's like, Alex is saving me one last time, which is teary-eyed for me. But yeah, so she decides she needs to go and get food, but everything's closed, so she goes to Gideon's house to steal his food, and there Gideon's waiting. And I love this part because he's like, oh, so you're gonna steal my food and then leave? And she's like fucking freaking out. So now she doesn't have his gun. She only has her knife. And so he realizes she doesn't have the gun. And so she's about to like, she puts the knife up to his throat. He doesn't give a fuck. He kisses her anyways. And well, before that, he tells her, "You are a knife in my heart," and she goes, "And you're a wolf I can't outrun, not even in my dreams." So that like solidifies her dream thing, because they never really talked about it too much.
Yeah.
Anyways, at that moment, he switches the gun and the knife with her. They swap weapons, and he tells her this time, "Don't hesitate. Shoot if somebody's gonna hurt you. Just and don't lose this or something like that." And so he takes it. Now it's like a memento that he has for her, because he knows what he's going to do. He's not going to betray her anymore. He's going to help her get away, because he even tells her you have a 20-minute head start. But in my opinion, he says that to her.
Excuse me.
In my opinion, he says that to her so that she could run as fast as she can, because he's not going to betray her. He's going to use this time to try to thwart
to move
everybody over, because he still has the power to be able to manipulate certain things for the rebels, or not the rebels, the good commanders people. So he uses that until they find out he betrayed them now. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know. So I love that whole part that he switched sides, and that was, you don't even know it until that point. And you're still not even quite sure until after she leaves, and then you realize
that he gets in trouble for moving the people.
Oh, and then my one last favorite part. Rune jumping off the moving train to save Gideon's ass.
Yeah.
Like, Gideon, what the fuck?
Yeah. I like that too. They're like bickering back and forth. She's like, you fucking ruined everything.
I loved it. I cracked up. Yeah, because she's on the train. He did it to save her so that she can go. And she's looking out the window. She has a vision of the 3 kids. And then she sees him and she's like, oh my fucking, are you fucking for real? He's about to die?
I was actually shocked when it was her, because we were in her POV and she was like driving off, and I thought that she was gonna see him, and she never did. And we cut back to Gideon, and he's still with that person like on the tracks, and then out of nowhere somebody saved it. I thought it was gonna be like Sarah or somebody else.
Yeah.
To find out it was Rune was
she
nice.
Jumped out of the moving train and ran to him, and you because like it goes back to her POV, and she's like bolting as fast as she can. She was really nervous that she wasn't gonna make it.
Yep.
She was super close to not making it. But yeah. She's like, you're not supposed to be here. What are you fucking doing? He's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. I came here to save you. She's like, well, I came here to save you.
I love that he followed her to make sure that she got on the train and distracted the
people with the fucking dogs.
The dog. Yeah, he was like, the scene he caused about that, like, your fucking dog's in my way. I should arrest you. I should say something about you. You're impeding me. The drama he caused was just great.
It was fucking funny. I loved it. Also, my not so favorite hated parts. I hate Cress. I hated Abby, but I hate Cress for what she did. Like, she put that curse on Gideon to where now, like, what kind of bitter fucking bitch are you? That you had to put a curse on Gideon to where now he can't be with his true love? Like, gross, girl. Just, get over it.
He doesn't want you.
Fuck,
God.
Fuck, Jesus Christ. Also, how fucking weird is it that she was being Verity the whole time? Like, I had to reflect. I'm like, wait a second. She was Verity the whole time in book 1, so she had to see. It made sense now, rereading too, that she was so disgusted. You think Gideon wasn't good enough for her. No, she just didn't want Gideon with Verity, or with Rune. So, like, the whole time rereading, I'm like, oh, this is gross. And even Gideon was Gideon was like, why is Verity always eagle-eyeing me?
Yeah.
But it's so funny to reread that and also to, like, know that. But, yeah, no, I hated her, but the story with that was good.
Yeah,
like,
it was a good story.
It made the slow burn worth it. Because I know, slow burn is frustrating to me. It's so frustrating. But because of the curse, it made it bearable.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes sense.
Because at least there's a reason.
There's an actual reason. Every time they tried, they got burned. So I'm like, okay. And also, the fact that they would still continue on having that passion, even though it hurt him, was fucking great.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't give a fuck that it was going to hurt.
He didn't give a fuck
yeah.
that it was going to hurt.
Like, in fact, I'm going to show you how much it hurts me that I want to do this. I was like, guy. Makes me love you more.
Yeah, it's great. They're so cute. I like him. I love him so much. He's great. I love
in this book. Yes, he was good.
Yeah, in this book, I love his grumpy attitude. I love his like change of heart at the end. Everything about it was just phenomenal. Did you have any things to discuss?
I had a few things, but we kind of already talked about it throughout our hated and loved parts.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really have a whole bunch. The epilogue was the only thing I really kind of had I don't want to say issue, but I kind of wish it was later. Like, I don't feel like it was later enough in the book or in the time frame for me to actually feel like it should even have an epilogue. Because, like, I get it. She was going to be part of the whole time. I mean, she's the Roseblood heir. Of course, she's a better version of them. Of course, she's going to have an impact, and they're going to want her in the council or some kind of, like, prime minister or whatever the fuck. Some kind of ruler or something, influence. I just felt like it wasn't enough time. Mm-hmm. And she was trying to escape. I don't know if I really liked that she was having second thoughts to that. I didn't necessarily like that. I felt like that's not Rune's character.
100%.
I felt like you took... So kind of epilogue kind of had an issue with me. And then you had Gideon trying to ground her. Gideon always usually grounded her, but like for different reasons. I didn't feel like this was a reason he needed to ground her. Put her in a foundation for. Like, I keep her grounded. I don't know what else to say. But I felt like it wasn't her out. It was out of place for her.
100%, because it made sense when she was having the issue of joining his cause. Like, I could buy that she was scared about mainly losing him.
Yeah.
So that's what was forcing her to run and be scared. Her being council and being celebrated, like, I don't understand, like, Rune.
And she's used to that. She's an aristocrat.
Yeah, so like, you know who you are. You did this. You accomplished this. You are in a position that you should be in. Like, why are you trying to break out the fucking window? That was so weird.
I didn't know. I didn't like that. Also, that's why I felt like it needed to be later. Mm-hmm. Because then that would have solidified her place and she would have felt confident. I mean, I felt like she should have already been confident, so I don't know. But I felt like you're leaving our character feeling...
being insecure.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I didn't like that because our whole time she's a badass bitch. She had her shit together, and she had doubts here and there, but it was mostly because she was scared. But I felt like she should have been over that in epilogue.
100%, especially after all that they accomplished.
Yeah, so I was kind of not happy about that. Same. I kind of wanted to deduct a point from it, but I just like said, fuck, the epilogue didn't exist.
Yeah, same.
So that's why I was just like, this isn't my epilogue.
What they should have been doing is walking confidently down the stairs together to be celebrated. Like, that would have been a much better epilogue.
Yeah,
than this like insecure girl trying to hide out the window.
No, I didn't like that. So I just ignored the epilogue. Mm-hmm. I didn't want it to go in the whole book for me.
Same.
So like,
because it's like a page.
Yeah, it really is nothing. Like, if you don't even have to read the epilogue.
Yeah, don't actually.
I wouldn't recommend reading it.
No,
it ruins everything.
Yeah, I agree. Is that all your things?
Yeah, that was all my things to discuss.
I had just one sad little thing. In the beginning, hearing the last song Alex ever wrote played while she was dancing with the prince.
That gave me feels, man.
It did, and I felt so bad for her because she was like crumbling, but then they were all here to like celebrate her and her engagement. She's like, "This is great. I need to go to the bathroom." And he kept trying to stop her, and the music was playing. And she's like, "No, I really I'm gonna piss myself right now. Please let me go."
And that's why she went to the bathroom crying.
Yeah,
and that's when Gideon sees her. But like, I was very heartbroken for every time Alex was mentioned in this book. I was still in my feels about it.
Yeah,
I was totally the boat scene, the music scene, everything Alex, and then she finally tells him at the very fucking end of this book that Alex loves him.
Yeah.
I love that she waited to tell him because he was like, "Did Alex tell you this?" Because she died. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Well, because she felt Alex." She said she felt Alex's presence, and that melted my heart. Like anything Alex immediately gave me my feels. It gave me shivers. It made my goosebumps. Like I'm like, I love Alex. I get that he had to die. I'm so mad about it.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, fantastic. Great. Wonderful book. All of the feels. All of the tension. All of the... nope, not all of the spice. But all of the good tension before the spice is there. So, it's just great. Yeah. So, anyways, 100% we would recommend this book. This duology.
Yes.
But... yeah, I mean, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah, there is. Oh my god, guys, can't wait to tell you about Phantasma next episode. I love this book. I don't know why, but I didn't love it as much as I think I loved it, but I did. I loved it. It's a good book. I start to realize that a lot of people, they'll rate it, and they'll rate for vibes or they'll rate for plot, like the content. I rate for both. If it's a good vibe, I'll give it a 5. If it's good content, I'll give it a 5. It's definitely opinionated. It doesn't have to be like, oh, there's a structure for this.
Yeah.
You know, however you feel, you rate your book. But we've been hitting these, like we were saying earlier, we've been hitting these duologies really good. The next series, we haven't read the second book in the Wicked Game series because it's Phantasma and Enchantra, which comes out pretty soon. We haven't read Enchantra yet. We are reading Phantasma next, and we can't wait to share it with you guys.
Yeah. Like Kristen said, sometimes it really is just vibes.
Yeah.
Like if I'm eased into your book with the vibes and you're keeping me floating with all of this, I'm good to go. Like I said, I'm a pastor princess. I'm here for a good time. I don't care how you're providing that time, either by your banter, by your vibe, or by your plot. I'm a pick your poison.
Yeah. Just get me in there right.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm ready to be swooned. Just take the lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for Phantasma. I know a lot of people are raving about this book. There's a lot of people who have read this book and like in the Goodreads, I think there was a lot of reviews for it.
Oh, there's a lot. It is. It's definitely being on BookTok right now. I see it all the fucking time. And I don't want to talk about it in this because this is still the Rebel Witch, but yeah, just pick it up, read it. It's dark. It's dark. Dark, smutty, gothic fantasy. So be prepared for that. Read the content warnings. If it isn't your style, don't read it, obviously. But if you're here with us, more than likely it is.
Yeah. Yep. So pick it up and then come join us for the next episode with Phantasma.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can follow us.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Bye. Guys.